Hi everyone, today's subject is about success versus failure on the didgeridoo. Are you one of those people that feel you're doing well and progressing, and even though you get knockbacks and challenges that you always progress and feel you're doing okay? Or are you one of those people that feel, oh, you might have something and then, oh no, that's another failure? Because some people feel that way. So this video is for those people, really, not for the ones that are progressing, because if you're progressing, then what I'm talking about today won't apply to you, because you'll have the state of mind to overcome it. But if you are one of those people that feels, oh, you might even pick up a bit of didge and think you're doing okay, and then the next minute you think, oh no, that's another failure. If you're one of those, then keep listening, because I'm going to try and help you make sense or put this in perspective, because you might be doing better than you think you are. And success really is a state of mind, more than anything. Because in life, as much as playing a musical instrument like the didgeridoo, there are certain things we're not going to be able to achieve, but that doesn't mean we're a failure. And if we put it in context, it really can help us move on in life, So the didgeridoo is an instrument that can also challenge you in life, and it help you understand how to keep progressing and moving on. So anyway, what's it all about? So let's just say you've been playing, or you picked up the didgeridoo and you're learning to play, and you might find it difficult to get the drone to start with, or you might get it difficult to get the circular breathing, but a lot of you will just persist and keep going until you get it. And somebody else might put it down and think, oh no, I can't do that. That's just a failure. Well, the key thing is here that failure has nothing to do with, or failing has nothing to do with trying it a few goes and putting it down, because failing is really not persisting. And like, for example, me, when I first started, I think I picked the didgeridoo up, I learned to get the drone, and then I learned the circular breathing. Well, it took me, I don't know, certain time. I'm not going to say what time scale. It took me a certain time to get the circular breathing, and it wasn't easy and straightforward. It's never an easy thing when you're trying to do something. It took me a certain amount of time, but I just persisted, and that has been the key to my success. It's persistence, and also knowing when you can get somewhere and when you can't, and when to drop it, or when to keep going and not knowing whether you're going to get it, and just keep persisting with it. So this is the key. Persistence is in keeping in trying. And it's more a state of mind, really, than anything, because success is really how you feel about yourself and how you're doing in your own playing, and not measuring it with anything else, because this is the most important thing to us, isn't it? It's to be able to play a didgeridoo, enjoy the damn thing, and having a good time, So let's just say, let's take the circular breathing. This is a good one. I did have a comment the other day, someone saying that was doing well on the circular breathing, but then couldn't take enough air in, and then made a comment afterwards about, oh, that's another failure. And I thought, oh, this is what's prompted me to do this video, really, because I thought, well, really, put this in context, put this in perspective, because you're doing okay. If you've got the circular breathing, that's a little milestone, isn't it? That's a great little achievement, to keep progressing with. And so if you haven't got the whole thing, and you haven't got all the breathing aspects of it in balance and everything, well, that's going to take time. It's going to take time. So put that in context and in perspective, so that you can see how well you're doing overall. That's brilliant, if you've got, say, circular breathing. So really, again, it comes down to understanding your own mind, what it's doing. If it's giving you a hard time and saying, oh, I'm doing okay here, and then the next minute, oh no, that's another failure. Really and truthfully, what's happening is it's, if you've had negative influences, or if you've had experiences in the past that nagging you or niggling you and saying, oh, you're no good, then be aware of that, because that's going to keep attacking you. Every time you pick something up and do something, it's going to be something persistent throughout the whole of your life. So you've got to challenge it and get past it somehow. So I knew someone once, years ago, and I was teaching them to play didge, and the person playing picked it up, played the didge, and they kind of wanted to do it, but then as they were playing it, you got the drone and a bit of the circular breathing, but the person never felt good enough on it. They were always thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. And I thought, well, just enjoy it. Don't worry about how good or how not good you are on it. Just enjoy playing, I know we all can think about how good and measure ourselves and things, but if you just play to enjoy it and feel you can progress by practicing, that's all you've got to do. And it is practice, practice, practice. The people that do well on something are not just the ones that have got the talent, they're the ones who are going to persist and persist and persist. And like me, I'm a persistent bugger. I have got the negative influences sometimes at the back of the mind, and I have to challenge them. And I just think, I'm going to keep going. I want this. So, and one other thing, I had talking about people who really, really want to do something. I knew someone once that had been trying to learn to circular breathe for over 2 years and hadn't done it, gone to various teachers. I'd had a session with him once, probably about 6 months to near a year before. He'd come to me, we'd had a go, and I thought, oh yeah, he's struggling with this. Anyway, but after about 2 years, he came back to me, and I said to him, right, if you really want this, I gave him a sort of a disciplined thing and told him to do something, and I was there with him, and finally he managed to get it. Now, after 2 years, some people just give up and think, no, I'm no good. Well, you see, it's because in his indomitable spirit, he was, even though he had the sort of anxiety, because he was quite anxious when he was trying to get it. He was a bit anxious, and I said, you got to relax. You got to drop your anxiety. You got to get over this. You got to do this and that. Concentrate on this and just do it. He did it, and he got the circular breathing. It was amazing, that he managed to get that. But it was only because he himself had the persistence to keep going. I had another friend. It took him a long time to get the circular breathing. And it was like, oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? But only because he persisted and kept on going. So this is really key. And the reason people persist is because it's a state of mind. It's nothing to do with this instrument. It's a state of mind. If you've got the right state of mind, let's just say that you had tried circular breathing and you tried it for 2 years, and then you tried it for 3 years, and then you never got it, and then you think, okay, you're not going to get it, because it may be the case. It doesn't make you a failure, because if you tried for that long, you're not a failure, I can tell you. The persistence and trying is not the failing. It might just be the case that it's not for you and you can't do it. And we have to accept that sometimes, but it doesn't make you a failure in yourself. That's the key thing. And this applies to anything in life. So it's having that right state of mind. And if you like, what are the ingredients that are going to help you overcome any negative influences you've got going on in the back of your mind saying you're no good, you can't do it? The key things I found: how do you get motivation? How do you get motivated beyond that thing, beyond the doubts? Right. You need a passion. If you're going to pick up the didge, like anyone picks up a musical instrument, say like the guitar, some pick it up and put it down and just aren't passionate enough to keep going. So you need passion. You need that motivation. That will motivate. You need the kind of hunger for it, and you want it bad, this is what you're going to need. If you haven't got that, then, and you can't do it, that doesn't make you a failure. It just means you haven't got enough drive for it. You know, it's as simple as that. That's really the key. So a bit of the motivation, the passion, the persistence, these are the key things. And also understanding in here, in your mind, that if you've tried something for long enough, it hasn't worked, drop it. And then you can say, well, I'm not a failure because I gave it a really good shot. And that doesn't, because we can't succeed at everything. You know, I might want to become a brain surgeon, you know, and I might try it for a while and think, no, it hasn't turned out right for me or anybody else. And I'm no good at that. I'm not very good at that. It doesn't make me a failure because I can't do it. If you see what I mean, I'm not going to go down that line, you know, because it's not my cup of tea and I've got other interests. But hopefully, you know, it's like, as I say, use this analogy to anything and realise that the key to success is in here. It's a complete state of mind. So, and that will come through in any part of your life. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Get back to your didgeridoo, put it in perspective, feel any little key success, keep the positives in your mind and think, now I can do this bit on the didgeridoo. I might not be able to do that, but it may come in the future. So I'll keep practicing. And you can keep going on and on like that and finding out what you can and what you can't do, and just enjoy the whole thing that you've managed to get, however far you've got with it, and feel good about that in yourself. Feel really good that you can do that and enjoy it without giving yourself a downer. So anyway, it's all good at the end of the day, you know. Just keep going, all right? You can do it if you've got the mindset for it, all right? That's it.